What, if any, were some of your fears around money growing up? Did you ever think maybe when you were in the line at the grocery store that mom or dad couldn't pay for it? Did you think, hey, maybe I wasn't gonna have nice clothes to start the school year with? One of the things that I was most fearful of growing up around money was this sound effect. So I'll play it. Repossession truck. That was my biggest fear around money growing up. We were behind on car notes, and when you live in an apartment complex, you don't own your house, you don't own anything. Your worth is tied to your car. That's your status symbol. And I was so afraid of losing our family car. That means you gotta walk to school now, right? And I live in Houston, it's humid. You don't wanna walk to school. So I was so afraid of losing that car. I'm the youngest of 3 kids. So I remember being in 4th or 5th grade, my sister's in her early 20s, and she's unfortunately making some of the same financial mistakes as my mom. That same cycle, right? That cycle that is so hard to break, those generational curses. So she had my oldest niece when she was 19. So she's a single mom herself now, early 20s, making the same financial mistakes. I was a big Pontiac fan. I always wanted a Pontiac GTO, all right? So she had this G6. I remember being a little kid sitting in the front seat, loved the car, but she couldn't afford it. So she was behind on these car payments. But she lived in an apartment that had a gate, had a garage, so repossession man couldn't get to it. Well, one Saturday, we're at my grandmother's house. We're all inside having a good time. Me, my mom, brother, sister, my great aunt was even there. We're all having a good time inside the house. And guess what we hear outside? Clink, 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 clink. He got the sound effects, just like that. So we all ran outside, whoa, 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 whoa. And he's hooking up the G6. Little did I know, I didn't realize this till much later, that my grandmother was the co-signer. So repossession man just doesn't pass by the person leasing the car. He passed by the co-signer house a couple of times as well. This weekend, he got lucky. But that's not the punchline of the story. So we all ran outside trying to get the tow truck man to stop. And he does. He actually is really nice. He gets out the car. I don't know what him and my sister talked about, right? I'm like 4th, 5th grade. I don't really understand. But I do remember this. He tells my sister, if you got $300, I'll put the car down. I didn't see it. So I'm like 4th or 5th grade. I'm like, give the man $300 so we can keep the car. And that's when I realized that no one in my family had the $300 to give him. So we took my niece's car seat out the car and he drove away with a Pontiac G6. So most people have a rainy day fund. Most people have an emergency fund. My savings journey started with tow truck money. I would always keep $300 in cash with me. I used to keep it in a Kenneth Cole watch box. And the reason why I start with saving, I hope all of us have an emergency fund. I hope all of us have a savings. But according to CNBC, according to Forbes, according to MSN, 60% of Americans can't afford $1,000 emergency expense without charging it. That's what the stats say. So one of the things I used to do for my savings is I always kept it in cash. So I had the resistance to spend it. I used to be like, okay, I'll just keep a couple $100 extra in my checking account, right? Or even my savings account. Christmas come around, you swipe, 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 swipe. That extra little bit that you had is gone, and overdraft protection to move it from your savings to your checking, you just swiping it all away. And one of the things that I did, 22 years old, I still do it today. I don't want direct deposit. I don't want ACH. I still get paper checks like a caveman. And the reason why I get paper checks, even in my company, I write myself paper checks. HEB, ISD, if they pay me for a video, they give me a paper check. Why? Because I take that paper, I go put it in the bank, and I take some paper out. And that allows me to have that emergency rainy day fund for when I need it. And it grows. It went from 300 to 500 to 2,500. I ended up taking some of that, investing into the stock market for the first time. It all started from tow truck money. And for me, it was about turning what I feared into something positive. And so I would ask you, what's your fear? Right? If we don't necessarily have the cushion that we want, the savings that we want, we should save for retirement. We should save to invest. We should save to take the kids on the trip. But in my opinion, human psychology says nothing is stronger than the motivator of fear. What do we fear? For me, maybe I'm vain. I fear my car being taken away from me, even to this day. If it's a sketchy parking lot, I'm not parking there. I want my car, right? So that's what I fear. And that's what allowed me to start saving.